Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Aliza Bloch's first lesson to the residents of Bait Shemesh. So, as many of us know, a very close race, within a few hundred votes of each other. So Aliza Bloch pulled it off, and the final count had her winning. And there's much to say about Bait Shemesh and about Mayor. Put in 10 years. I thank him for all his efforts for Bait Shemesh. And I want to mention something about Aliza Bloch. Many people, even her supporters of the last few months, were quite nervous. Is there really a possibility where more and more people identify with the Haredi world have been moving to Beit Shemesh over the last 15, 20 years? Whatever the numbers were 5 years ago when Moshe beat Eli Cohen, well, that was like the last chance maybe of a non-Haredi mayor emerging. And everyone said, quote, all of the experts, there's no real chance of a non-Haredi winning. And I think there's an amazing lesson over here that Aliza Bloch taught us. And Yetz Hashem, over the years that she'll be the mayor, she'll teach us many, many, many lessons. I've heard such incredible things about her, what she's done with Branka Weiss and many other schools, networker schools, and other projects that she's been involved in. Yetz Hashem, she'll take all of her abilities and really, Yetz Hashem, bring them all to leading the city. But she teaches us something, I think, amazing here. And I think it's probably the same idea why Nachman Breslov is so popular. Of course, so many youth have attached themselves to Rav Nachman. I'm not well read in his ideology at all. I wish I was, but I'm not. But one thing that screams out is Ein Shum Yeush Ba'olam. There is no such thing as Yeush, despair. To me, there's such a working philosophy in my life, and Aliza clearly holds that way as well. Meaning that months ago, whenever she decided to announce her candidacy, I'm sure plenty of people said it's just not happening. It's not realistic. The numbers don't work out, Aliza. I didn't speak to her, but I'm just guessing this. That people said it's just not. I know people certainly said it about her campaign. It's just not realistic. And I imagine people said it to her as well. And she had no yeush, no despair. But I think there's a deep lesson here. Not just simply, yeah, everything can work out. No matter what you do, it can all work out. Just be happy, be optimistic. Hashem's going to help out, and it's all good. I think there's something deeper than that, much deeper. Because you might say that the message here is, even when rationally you see there's no hope, just go with your emotions and your heart and daven to Hashem, it's going to work out. I say the opposite. The message here is the opposite. When people go ahead and have despair in a situation, it's often not because rationally there's no hope. It's because emotionally, the heart doesn't see the full picture, the emotions don't see the full picture, and the emotions are the ones that say, just forget about it, give up hope. While the mind says there is hope. The mind is able to see the picture with clarity and not be overwhelmed by the emotions. And let's give some examples, because to me this is a life lesson. And we see it with Aliza over here, but I think we could see it all over the place. We go back to David and Goliath. You could just say David said, I have no chance. And that's it. And he just went ahead and said, I know there's rationally no chance, but I'm just going to believe in God, and God's going to save me. You could take that approach, a simplistic Amun approach. You could say that, but maybe you could say the following. Everyone who said, we can't fight him, we can't fight him, we can't fight him, and all of Klal Yisrael who had the tail, so to speak, between their legs, they were not analyzing it rationally. But this human being, Goliath, is undefeatable. Rationally, you cannot go ahead and take him down. It was emotionally that they were saying, oh my gosh, he's so big. He's overwhelming. I never saw anyone like him. Yeah, and therefore what? Someone who's so big, so strong, cannot be taken down with the right strategy, but the emotions don't see the strategy. The emotions just see, he's overwhelming. The mind says, wait a second, he's defeatable. And David came with his mind. And he said, wait, he does have an Achilles heel. So we all know the story of Achilles. He really had an Achilles heel. Over here, Goliath didn't have an Achilles heel. He had an Achilles forehead. He had his weak area. And David analyzed it, and he says, he is defeatable. That was his mind speaking, not just his heart. And then he said, with his mind, I think I could do it. Then he davened to Hashem to help me out. And so too, analyzing Bait Shemesh. I didn't speak to Lisa, but I'm just projecting and guessing that analyzing Beit Shemesh, okay, certainly the population has become more and more Haredi, more people that identify with the Haredi world. But let's analyze. You have Kimmel, you have a lot of new towns, a lot of places opening up. The town just skyrocketed, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 120,000 people, developed very, very quickly. Is everyone happy with the service, happy with the developments, happy with the infrastructure? So she's analyzing it. So the emotions will simply say, 120,000 people, so many Haredim here, forget it, don't even try. The mind will say, let's really analyze. Is everyone happy with the situation here? Could it be done better? Maybe I can try, give it my shot at it. Moshe Bupel gave it his best shot, but maybe I have certain things that I can offer. And maybe when I offer a rational plan of how I think I can help the city out, maybe people will hear me out and say, wow, that makes sense. And I think I'm going to give her a shot. So that is not just throwing out some emotional reaction. There is no hope, but I don't care. I believe in God. He's going to help me. I'm not talking about a simplistic kind of hope. I'm talking about rational hope, where your mind analyzes the situation and says, you know what, there is an opening here. And she, Aliza, of course, took that opening, took that petach, and ran with it in a very mechubad way, presenting the positive aspects of her plan, her hopes. Of course, her history and her experience speaks for itself, so everyone could see her track record there. And she's simply explaining how that could be, how that could work in Beit Shemesh. And apparently people heard it. So to me, yeah, the idea of Ein Yesh Ba'olam is a beautiful idea. It's not a simplistic idea. It's seeing with your mind that there really is a rational possibility here. Are the chances high or not? That's another question. And then you make all of your efforts, have a good rational plan, and then a lot of davening, a lot of tefillah, a lot of hope that Hashem will bless your plans. And this, to me, is what we saw with David HaMelech and Goliath, where he saw an opening. This is with Aliza and Beit Shemesh. And as a principal of a school, I see this every day, where a lot of times, quote, experts say about this child and that child, well, he can't really do this, he can't really do that, he's very mugbal, he's very limited, he can't take a regular test, he shouldn't take that test at all, this test has to be modified. There are times that that's the case, for sure, but there are many times where it's not so clear. And yes, he has this challenge, yes, he has that challenge. That doesn't mean he's really incapable. It means you have to find that window with this child. How you can find an area where he could succeed in, where he can master this material or that subject matter. And then you run with it, you build him up and say you could do it. But you find an area where it's really rational that he could do it. My son Shlomo Myers, special needs kid, Down syndrome, I'm not going to go ahead and say, yeah, you study for this Gemara test, you could do it. It's not within the realm of reality. And only a nace and nigla, but it's otherwise not going to happen. So you don't go into stuff somewhere where you know it cannot be. But the fact that some say it's not so realistic from succeed. Not so realistic, let's analyze the situation. Let's see if there's that opening. So to me, to summarize the lesson of the day, in my opinion, I am not pushing over here for Emunah Pshuta, that's another topic totally. I am saying that sometimes the emotions will see something and be overwhelmed. The emotional people, so like Goliath, they froze. Some people will see Beit Shemesh, this is the way it is, there's nothing to do about it, it's going in this way, you like it, you don't like it. You see a child, that's it. He's not succeeding, he can't make it. We have to put him in a different kind of program. He cannot be mainstreamed. In all these cases, often, not always, it's the emotion speaking. With David HaMelech, it was an irrational reaction, and David saw clearly. With Beit Shemesh, Aliza saw clearly that a lot of nice things in the city, but certainly it could be improved. And in terms of Luchziyah, demographics, I think I could speak to the people. I think they're going to listen, and let's see what happens. Regarding a student, a child, our own children, he's showing certain things that are not really making it in this subject, in that area of life. And your emotions say, I just give up hope. he cannot make it in this or that area, the mind says, hold on, let's analyze it. Let's look at it again. We're always looking for that petach, for that opening. And once we take that petach, we take that opening, and we run with it with a clear, rational plan, then we have amunah bitachon, tefillah Hashem, that we have said, we saw the opening, we ran with it, we set up a plan to succeed, and then if we say, Hashem, we've done everything we can, please bless our endeavors. May Aliza have so much bracha, v'atzlacha, in Bait Shemesh, and in all her endeavors in life. Shalom.